Now, Uriel Celli is my go-to guy for Wonderkids this year. I use him in my Twitch save, and if you've watched the Benfica rebuild, you'll see how powerful this guy actually is. You can pick him up from anywhere between 150k to 1.5 million pound at the start of the game, making him an absolute steal if you ask me, because he is a set-piece wizard. But South America is full of little gems just like Uriel Celli, and I have gone and found 10 more of them just for you. And all of them are incredibly affordable. Shout out, by the way, to Angelo, who, although is in the 180 potential range, you can pick him up for over 10 million pound, under 10 million pound. Still consider it as a bargain, but he doesn't count the 10. 10 that are in here, a lot less money. We actually start off this list with a man from Venezuela. So you're going to have to load up all the South American players such as Venezuela. And Talasco Segovia can be found playing for Deportivo Lara. 18 years of age, he's a centre midfielder who can also play CDM. And he does look quite good at the start of the game. He's in the 160 potential range. And if you ask the agent for availability, between 22 and 210,000 pound. Negotiate a great deal. You got a fantastic player here. Staying in Venezuela, we have Yerson Chacon. Now, plays for a different team, still 18, but this time this man plays out on the wings. He has some fantastic physical attributes at the start of the game. That natural fitness to begin with, and agility. Absolutely insane for a guy who is that young and hopefully will grow into a better player. He's in the 160 potential range as well. Mental attributes look amazing for his age too. Technicals are starting to look like quite a decent player. He is reasonable left-footed, very strong right-footed. I like that combination. Considering he can play naturally on both wings, you can turn this guy into a winger or an inside winger, inside forward, whatever you really like. He can actually play up top as well, should you really need to. Now, if you ask his agent for availability, I think it's going to be roughly the same money. 275k to 850k, so a little bit more expensive than the previous one, but still keeping costs around about 500k, less than £1 million. You can't argue with that. That is a bargain. Now, I don't do this very often, but if we can hit 1,000 likes, I've got a list of about 10 Wonderkids from Asia who aren't maybe as good as this, but you might find some more hidden gems that you can add to your shortlist and maybe pick up for quite cheap. So 1,000 likes, and I'll get that to you next week. Over to Paraguay then, and I bet you thought you're just going to show me loads of Brazilians, Luke. No! I've shown you someone from Peru, 2 from Venezuela, now from Paraguay, and we have Julio Enciso. Probably not how you say it, but I apologise. Now, this guy probably has the best technical attributes out of the 4 that we have seen so far. Physically, he looks great as well. Mentally, he needs to catch up. Although there is a few 9s in there, which means obviously he's going to catch up quite quick. And he is in that 160 potential range again. Now, he looks quite cheap as well from Libertad. Don't forget, there's people like Flando Ovalar, who's not going to be on this list. That's still decent. So there's a little extra one, I guess, for you. If you take a look, 65 to 650k is what you will pay for this man. Exactly what his value is. That's cheap. One of my favourite players on this list is this man, Riquelme. He's a left back and he has like really good attacking attributes. He's very quick. His physicals are fantastic. His mentals are great. He reminds me, does anybody else remember when Marcelo, you know, the left back who plays for Real Madrid for years and years, when he first burst onto the scene for Palmeiras, I think, this is how good he looked like. Now, Riquelme only has a potential range of 160, whereas I think Marcelo is slightly higher, but still very much like Marcelo back in the day. And if we take a look at how much he would cost you, 3.8 to 7.2 million pounds, so around about 5 million, you got yourself an incredibly good attacking left back. Now, YouTube thinks, by the way, it's going to take me about 5 months to get to 30,000 subscribers, but that's just ridiculous. You can help me get there before Christmas. 30,000, that's my massive goal. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that red button. Help me get there. Cheers. Now, this guy might be quite hard for you to find, because if you type in Arthur, there's just like 20,000 different players. But if you look for Fluminense under 20s, you'll find this guy, Arthur, 16 years of age, meaning that you're going to have to wait till he turns 18 before he will leave the country and join your club. However, the best thing about him is he's in the 170 potential range. We're going slightly higher here. He's a centre attacking midfielder, great passing, good first touch to begin with. Of course, he's just turned 16, so a lot of his attributes are a lot lower than other players on this list, but don't let that put you off signing this man. If he has some really good attributes, hidden attributes, meaning that he will develop, say you notice a really good personality, balance is okay, like professional, that's the one you're looking for because you know he'll grow, you can get him for really cheap, 2.1 to 4.2 million pound, probably even cheaper if you negotiate. He is going to be a mega star. Let me show you how good he is. We've gone back to Venezuela because there's another player here that I need to show you. In the 160 potential range, Venezuela is very much gone under the radar for how many good Wonderkids there are in their league this season. Deportivo La Guaraña, different team, probably butchered how to say it just like I did the other ones, but still, this guy looks fantastic for a 17-year-old. A lot of really good physical attributes to begin with. Mentally, he is almost there, and technically, 12 in finishing, first touch, and heading. That's great. He's 6'2" as well, with 14 jump and reach. He could be a big target forward. Yes, a Venezuelan target forward, and you can pick him up for so cheap, 240k to 700k. This guy is one of the ones that I would suggest definitely scouting on this list. 100%. Take a look at him. Now, sticking in the 160 potential range, I'm moving to a different country we haven't seen yet in Uruguay's Benjamin Rodriguez. Defensor Sporting is where you can find him. He can play on the left side, he can play on the right side. Just like that previous player we've seen, you can play naturally on both. He has a strong left foot and a very strong right foot, meaning if you need a winger, he is your guy. If you need an inside forward, he can also do that too. He has fantastic crossing, dribbling, finishing, and first touch ability. Passing's great as well. Fantastic technique. He has 16 determination and 15 flair. This guy has a lot to like about him. Even his physicals are fantastic too. 18 years of age, and the best thing about him is this guy is arguably the cheapest on the list. If I just literally do this, I'll just take away percentage of next sale, and I suggest 34k, they accept it. 34k. It's almost free. It's disgusting how cheap this guy is for how good he is. Honestly, just pick him up. Even if you never intend to use him, pick him up because you'll make money out of it. Now, if you'd like to show your appreciation, by the way, for the videos that I produce, I do have a Patreon. Should you wish to contribute financially and help me as a content creator, of course, put a lot of time and work into giving you free content. Page.com/MegaLootGaming. You get yourself like early access. You get free save game files of the Twitch save or some of the experiments and rebuilds that we do. Not to mention as well, you get to vote on who the rebuild's going to be next. Page.com/MegaLootGaming. Thank you to all my Patreon members. Really do appreciate it. Now, much like Arthur, if you type in Giovanni, you're going to be inundated with players. So go to Palmeiras under 20s, to be honest, because then you'll find him so much quicker. Giovanni, 17 years of age. He plays on that right-hand side. He has a very strong left foot, can cut in. He'll be deadly with it. Now, he is in the 160 potential range. He is 17, like we mentioned. You have to wait a year to get him. But for the price that you'll pay, you won't have to worry about it too much. 2.3 to 4.6 million pounds. And if he is anywhere close to the top of that 160 potential range, look how good he is. We've had a lot of attacking players so far, so how about goalkeeper? We got Matthias Danelli. He plays in goal for the Corinthians under 20s, 19 years of age now, so you can get him straight away, and he isn't amazing at the start of the game, but he will grow and develop. He has great fundamentals like agility and bravery, 6'2" as well. So you just need to keep developing him. To be honest, he's in the 160 potential range. You find him at Corinthians, and if you ask his agent, 1.2 to 2.5 million pound. If you're looking for a good backup young goalkeeper, this is probably the person you go to, especially if you don't have to worry about work permits. I get him in and just see how he develops. He could end up being better than your actual goalkeeper, or you make a load of money on him from profits, so worth it. Now we have one more player left on this list out of the 10 that I'm showing you, but I want to know, who is your favorite that you have seen in this video? Whether it is the next one, whether it's the one we just seen previously, whether it's one that was right at the start, let me know down in the comments. I'm very interested to see who you guys prefer. Our centre back is the last guy, Beraldo. He plays centre back or he plays CDM, and to be honest, I'd see really how he develops, because he could be a really good ball playing defender, or he could just be a really good defensive midfielder, depending on whatever side of the game you get with Beraldo, because he can play both quite well, and he's 6 foot, so it's not suggesting, oh, definitely make him a centre back or definitely make him a CDM. It all depends on how he goes. 17 years of age at the start of the game. You can find him in the Sao Paulo under 20s, and if you ask his agent, 350k to 3.5 million. It's cheap as chips to pick up this guy, and let's take a look at him one last time, set to his maximum. And that's your list. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out this video with some more of the top bargains, Wonderkids, that you can find on Football Manager 2022. Remember to sub, like, patrons all down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.